Hello guys and welcome back to another video. In this video we'll be looking at a web framework within Python that is known as Flask. So Flask is basically a web framework used in Python for building web applications and micro web services. So in this video we'll be looking at the basics of Flask. We'll not jump directly into some mainstream application or something like that. So first of all, I'll just show you the basics how to start with Flask. So initially you have to install Flask, and I'll tell you from where you can do that. Flask py. So you can just uh, go to this website which will tell you how you can install Flask, which is very simple, whether it is a Mac, Windows, or an Ubuntu Linux based system. So pip install Flask, that's it. So I'll just put the link of the installation in the description below, so you can just click and go to that. So this is how you can install Flask. First step. Now the second thing which will be required for the example application which I'm going to show you here will be a request. So you can just type over here request. So request is nothing but a uh, module for initiating API calls, for example get, post, put, delete, etc. So this is how you can install request as well, or you can just google it, request, you will get it. So this is how you need two modules for this example application which I'm going to show you over here. So install this as an prerequisite, then come to the application. So when it comes to the folder structure, Flask is very strict about folder structure. So for example, if you want to render a template page, you need to keep it inside a folder that is templates. When you require a CSS file that is something static, you need to keep it inside a static folder. So I'll just show you the folder structure, so be very precise about it, or else there will be some error, because I've faced many errors while doing this. So this is the folder structure. Create a main folder, whatever you can name it. Then within that static, there will be a CSS file. Within templates, there will be an HTML file, and this is our main Python application, request.get. So this is the folder structure, so be precise with it, or else there will be errors. So this is a folder structure. Now coming to the application, you can use any IDE based of your choice, like PyCharm, VS Code, IDL, based on your preference. I'm using over here is VS Code, which is more preferable for IntelliSense kind of thing. So it gives you suggestions based on your input, so it's better. So you can select any ID based on your preference. So initially we'll be starting with writing the main py file, that is the main Python file for our application. So import request. So I'll just get you in a minute over there. But initially you start with import request, then import JSON. Here we are handling with uh, JSON request as well. So basically what we are doing over here is that through request, that is a get request, we are fetching JSON data. So another uh, important link is this is the JSON placeholder slash users. So I'll just show you. You can just type it over here, JSON placeholder. Click over here, and you can just, so this gives you a basic array of objects with id, name, username, email id, address, etc, etc. So this is how you can use this entire link. Copy this link, and if you want to experiment more, there are other json data available to do photos, albums, etc. So you can use based on your preference. Over here I'm just using the user, so you can just copy this entire link and paste it over here. So you can just provide it into a variable which I have done over here, that is url. So request and json. So with the help of this link and with the help of request, we are doing a get request from that specific url. So this is the url. From this url we are doing a get request. So this is how you can initiate with Flask. So from Flask, import Flask and render template. I'll just get over there in a minute. Then app is equal to Flask. This is like a basic building block of how you can initiate with Flask. Even you can go to the documentation of Flask. It will show you over there. Flask docs. So this is the documentation of Flask, and this is the latest version. You can give it a read because it's really helpful, and if you want to go into depth of it, you can surely give it a read. So this is how you can basically build a hello world application with Flask. So I'll just provide the link in the description below. You can give it a read, but this is like a basic building step. App is equal to Flask underscore name, and which I've done over here. You can take a variable url, give it a name, and paste the link over here. So now in the ninth line, I'm taking another variable, that is a request, and through request module I'm doing a get request to the url, right? And taking another variable JSON form and converting that request into JSON. That's it. That is why I have also imported JSON module as well. So this is it for that, and this is basically a Flask decorator. So if you are familiar with basics of Python, decorator is one of the concepts which can be used to provide another functionality within a function. So you don't need to learn decorators for it because it is a built-in feature within Flask. You don't have to get familiar with it, but a read is important. So app.route, so it is a built-in function. Basically this route feature is used for routing purpose, like home slash about. We'll be seeing uh, this concept in the further videos, later videos, which I'll be putting for Flask. So stay tuned for that also. So here I'm just creating a basic route, and basic route, that is an empty route. So like slash, if even if I don't provide a route like specific routes like home, about, it will be default. And here I've just provided a specific route, that is home. Now in that specific route home, I've created a function, and that function is basically returning a template. So now I'll just get to the render template. So basically if you want to like render a HTML page on a browser, you need to use render template. That is also an inbuilt functionality within Flask. You just have to import it and provide the HTML file, and as a parameter I've just taken over here data is equal to JSON form. So this is the JSON data which we have stored within JSON form, and I've just given a variable data is equal to JSON form. That is like another parameter which we'll be seeing in a minute. So just keep this in mind. JSON is equal to data is equal to JSON form, and this is like a main function which helps you to run the entire Flask application. So this is it for the main application file. I will just go to the template, home template, right? So this is the basic template. Now I'll just show you the output, so you'll just get a small idea how you can do this. So for running Flask, there are two basic methods. Exactly, it is like a one, but I'll just show you. Now you can, if you are in the main folder, open in terminal, which is currently I am in, and export flask underscore app, and what is the app name? Request underscore get dot py, right? Not provided underscore underscore, no problem. Okay, so it's done. This is the first step. Now env and provide the server as development, right? Enter. Now flask run. So our development server has been started. You can just control and click on this link. So this is our home page. So as I've told you, if there is no specific route given, it will be as default. The page will be rendered. So there is no specific route given over here. But if I do this, the result is same, because I've provided two routes over here, which is a empty route and second is a home route. So it's all one and the same. So this is the output. So there is an h1 tag, name, email, address, and website. So I'll just show you in the JSON placeholder what this exactly means. So name over here is Lenium Graham, email, username, address, street, phone, website. So you can see the output, Lenium Graham, email. You can just basically compare the data, and this is like rendering a page from a GET request. So all the users, basically there are 10 items, so 10 users, and we'll get 10 users with their general information on the home page, right? So how you can do this on a web page? So this is the HTML file which I've taken. So I'll just provide you the basic information about it. This is used for your CSS template. So if you want to use an external CSS file, you can use like this. Unlike the JavaScript method, you can do that, but basically what this does is that it will just convert that URL for static. It will search for a static folder because it is a necessary one. If you don't provide, there will be an error, I guarantee that. And it will search for a static folder, and within that folder it will look for a file name called main.css. This is how you can use external style sheets for Flask. So it is nothing much, body, that is this color, and this is a division which I've provided over here. I can show you. So this is a division, class is equal to users. So that entire user information is being used within that specific division. So name, post, email, address. So I'll show you how did I traverse it. So basically applying a for loop, This is known as Jinja Templating. It is both similar for Flask and Django, so yeah, you can use that. Give it a read as well for Jinja templates if you're not familiar with it. So basically, there are two main structures. You can start with this for loop and this the end of for loop. So for post, you can take it even as like I or anything, but I've taken over here as post in data. So what this data resembles. So data over here is the second argument of the parameter data, which is storing our JSON from JSON data within it. So basically that is it. So data, so it will traverse to that data, and just this is a random label, then post dot name. So post dot name over here is this, which is traversing through this item name, then username, email, address. Likewise, it will loop through that entire object of JSON and provide you an output. So this is how I have traversed to that JSON file through that GET request. So similarly, if you want to like within address, there are multiple options like street, suit, city, zip code. So this is how I have traversed that specific address object. So street, suit, city, zip code, etc. So this is how you can use a for loop for traversing objects within adjacent data, and you have to end this or else there will be an error. So this is how you can render a HTML template using Flask, and this is the CSS file, basically using a for loop and yeah, storing it into the file. So this is the output, guys. You can output you can use more styling functions, but for general demonstration I've just given a body color and that division color. That's it. So basically I'm just taking a request, get request from this URL, storing the not exactly not storing the data, but taking the data into a variable, converting it to a JSON and rendering it to a web page. That's it, guys. So this was a general basic example of how you can use Flask and use a get request to render a simple page using in Flask. So for in further videos we'll be expanding our knowledge of Flask and try to implement WT forms, that is the module used for form validations and creating forms within Flask. So this is the output, guys, and this was the code. The code will be available in the description, so give it a try to upgrade it, try to put in your suggestions, and yes, if you have any queries, concerns, and etc., you can comment down below. And I just want to show you another technique how you can do this. So if you are using VS Code, I'm specifically talking about VS Code. So you can just run Python file in terminal, and it will start the server. Click and you can see the output. Just make sure that you go with the structure that which I have provided with, or else you'll get some error. So be very specific about how to execute it. So just click and run Python file in terminal. It will directly start without using that export flask underscore app, etc., etc. So this was it for this video, guys. In the next video I'll be expanding our knowledge of Flask and try to implement something more robust within like database or to-do app or something like that. So stay tuned for that video, guys, and thanks for watching this video, and stay tuned for the next.